This is a response to the whole Hovind molestation case. I think that it's time that I do my next recording, and this is certainly a topic that I really want to discuss. So, creation's name, Josh Duggar, molested his sisters, and he went public about it and apologized and confessed his crimes. He gave her him, but he did molest children, and it's inexcusable. But what's more inexcusable is the way that religious ideologues are protecting him or trying to excuse his behavior. One such person is, in fact, Hovind, the Olive Baptist Church member in Pensacola, Florida. He said, "Since Josh molested girls, which could damage the trust of men, which could damage their future marriage, which could damage their future family, we should make Josh Duggar work the rest of his life to help families stay together and help them recognize how twisted the world is and how God offers instruction on how to live righteously. He should be forced to push faith, family, and freedom in a public showing the Christian worldview has answers." Well, first problem with that is the Christian worldview does not have answers. None. Zip, zilch. The Christian worldview is actually one of the reasons why he molested his sisters and his sisters' friends. And Hovind doesn't understand this. Eric Hovind then states something that's rather irrational. He says, Duggar was the victim of a double standard by the media, which, he said, praised sins such as lust, abortion, and homosexuality, but condemned confession, judgment, and forgiveness. This is quoted from Raw Stories' 2015 article. First off, the media doesn't praise sins. Sin is a relative term that each religion defines through social convention. Just because social convention is changing or has changed in the past, especially in the United States, to reflect human rights and religious freedom, does not mean that these things are wrong or bad or sins. We need to move away from this whole conflated ideology that people get to sin just because of the beliefs that are defined by a given religion. Because unfortunately, this religion, Christianity, and Christians like Eric Hovind like to cherry pick. I mean, I'm pretty sure that he's wearing a mixed cloth shirt right now. He's probably eaten in the past and likes to eat shellfish and other things that we are told we're not supposed to eat. Then he goes to say, if evolution is true, then there is no absolute right and wrong, Hovind said. If evolution is true, Josh should not have admitted his faults over a decade ago, because what one evolved bag of molecules says to another bag of molecules just doesn't really matter. If evolution is true, there is no ultimate judge on the bench who will hold every man, woman, and child responsible for their actions, and if evolution is true, you will not give an account for every idle word you speak. The problem here is that this is a non sequitur argument. Evolution is true. We know it's to be true. It's a fact. We do not need some ultimate judge to judge us. There's no need for a God to judge us. The fact is that we as a society judge each other and define the moral limits that we accept as a society. Yes, there is no absolute right and wrong. We have a huge, huge range and scale of what is right and what is wrong. I won't go into the philosophy of it, but the fact is that what is right to one person may be wrong to another person. Killing someone in the name of God is right to the God-fearing, but wrong to the atheist and the godless. Society is how we define our limitations, our morals, our laws. And I think a lot of religious people, including Eric Hovind and his father Kent Hovind, failed to recognize this fact that our religious ideology is not the basis of our morals. Christianity is not the base of our laws. It's not the base of our ideology. It's not the base of our morals. It's not the base of anything in our society, really. It has taken on the mantle of being the base, but that doesn't mean that it is. Our evolution is not just one of biological, but sociological and psychological nature. I mean, our morals and our laws are an extension of our being human. And they derive from thousands and thousands of years of having our own culture evolve and change and develop, from being the tree climbing, languageless apes that we evolved and have a shared evolved ancestry with the other apes that exist today, and where we are now. So the problem here is that this isn't about whether or not he confessed. It's not whether or not the media condemns judgment and forgiveness. This is not true. The media just reports information. Now, that depends, of course, on what media you're talking about. If you're talking about Fox News, which lies all the time and makes up a whole bunch of crap and says things that aren't true, well, yeah, then he has a point. But the fact is that most media doesn't do that. Most media just tells things as it is. And the fact is that we have a person who molested his family and his family's friends, and knew better. And really, it probably doesn't come down to the social issues that exist. It's not about the media creating this dichotomy between social and religious ideology. This is about his religious beliefs and him acting on his religious beliefs, thinking that he has some right to do what it is that he did, and then realizing later on that it was wrong and coming out and coming forward. How this matters really is beyond actual any question, because this is just another example of religious people, religious leaders, and famous people getting away with things that they shouldn't be allowed to get away with, purely because they're in the social eye and social consciousness. The fact is that he's a famous actor. His family, his TV show, which will hopefully be canceled here because it promotes a lifestyle that is wrong. It promotes a lifestyle that is dangerous to our society. And more importantly, it promotes his religious ideology, which led him to do the things that he did. So, that's it for me. Thank you very much for listening. Have a good night.